Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be Light versus Free here on Tau Cross. A very famous map. Top right going to be our, I want to call him blue, but it's brown. Come on, brain. It's a brown Terran. It is Light. And in the bottom side, it's a Protoss. He's purple. It is Free. I don't know if I cast a game from Free outside of the Flash versus Free series that I cast, like back in 2017. But here we are. It's a TVP. These colors are kind of blending into the background here, but it's better than red versus red on the minimap, right? Right. So, Tau Cross, a 3-player map. Very famous map. The site of probably the most famous match in Brood War history. Flash versus Jadong from WCG 2007, I think? Somewhere around there. Peak StarCraft, man. I've cast it 3 times, I think. Original, Remastered, and Carbot. And got a good reception every single time. That just tells you how rare Jadong versus Flash games are, especially kind of longer ones, right? So gateway opening here from Free. Okay, I feel like the Light is not going to go command center first here because he's not scouting, right? Right. So hit that like button if you're excited for a PVT here featuring Light and Free. You got gateway into Assimilator, into Probe Scout. Boo. Barracks coming up inside the main base from Light. Let's see if he goes left or right here. Yeah, basically this is going left and left. Okay, so scouting where there is nobody. It's a 3-player map, as you probably know. Cybernetics core. Let's see how fast he saturates this gas. And right on time. 1, 2, and 3. Woo! That was fancy. When I saturate my gases, I just grab 3 workers and go, blah, go. And then 2 workers wait for a little bit. And then 1 worker waits for a little bit, and everything is okay. But did you see how Free just sent the probes 1 at a time? So when they got there, immediately harvesting gas. That was cool. Okay, so barracks and factory. Everybody's playing it safe because they have no idea what the other player is doing. Steve the SCV scouting. Steve the SCV merchandise. Coming soon to FalconPaladin.store. Just like the Terry the Overlord merch. It's very, very cool stuff. Alright. Probe wants to get in here. Marine says, no, I am the guardian of the gate. I will not let anybody through, let alone a lowly probe such as you. Look at him rhyming. Pretty cool stuff there, man. Way to go. I didn't know you were a poet. Apparently, KCM Barcode is watching this with 10 APM as an observer. Factory popping up. Now, Vulture first. What's the first upgrade from the factory? That's really interesting. Candace go for Spider Mines. You can go for Siege Mode. What are you worried about exactly here? And the answer is Dragoons. So, Spider Mines, I'd say probably the most popular one here. Popular starting upgrade. You got to get a machine shop first, though. Which is probably what's going to happen as soon... We're relocating the factory? Where are we going? Oh, like 2 inches. Okay, neat. Didn't have to move to throw that machine shop down. I'm not sure what that was all about. But yeah, Vulture hunting for this probe. Doesn't find it, actually. Sneaks down this way to kind of a dead space. You could put tanks here and kind of fire on stuff inside the main base of your enemy, but only dumb people build their stuff right along these walls. Like, they're going to build stuff here and over here where it's safer, right? Second base coming in for our Terran player Light. He's got a barracks just in case any Zealot run-bys or Dragoon run-bys are attempted. Bunker coming up too. Singularity charge just about done. And actually, the Vulture is drawing the attention away from the front door, as Dragoons aren't even really trying to get in at this point. And it is Siege Mode first. So this should be a pretty short harassment from these Dragoons, if any, from Free. He's got to. Singularity charge is done. You've got Dragoons. They've got a bunker. You have to fire on... How is he taking hits? What? I saw him scooch in there. And as soon as he gets to fire, you should outrange the bunker. I wonder if you have to be like over here. What is going on? That's weird stuff, man. Free's like, what is this sorcery? How was that bunker hitting me? I was within like minimum attack range, or maximum attack range rather. So he's just going to hang out, which, I mean, like I said, it was going to be short harassment because the tank is here. Siege mode's like 20 seconds from completion. It doesn't really matter, but it is strange. I do wonder if you put your Dragoon here, if it works better on the angle. Like, we never really see harassment straight up and down, right? Like catching the corner of a bunker. I wonder if the attack range is like kind of a concave. And this way it hits you, but if you're over here, it doesn't. I'm making stuff up. I don't know what that was. I mean, you watched the Dragoon inch its way up closer. Okay, we're just going to come in here and try to kill this tank, I guess. Cool stuff, man. Tank down, and none of the Dragoons died. And there we go. See, this angle's working. Another tank is here, though. And woof. I was going to say, get another shot off. No, the Dragoons evacuate before that can happen. Robotics facility coming in recognizes we need some detection because spider mines will be part of this game today. Engineering bay coming up, going for turrets in case, I don't know, it's DTs, in case shuttles show up. This is a pretty popular map for DT drops because there's a ton of just dead space inside your main. So you can sneak DTs in. And it's kind of hard for the Terran player to see it. I mean, he's got places he hasn't even explored yet, so that'd be a good place to drop a DT. But yeah, hit that like button. I'm here 6 times a week with Brood War content. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I mean, how much do I love you? That much. I love you so much that it's not even fair how much I love you. Spider Mine's coming in. And so far, all is cool. All is fine here on the OK Corral. Another gateway. Got a 3 gateway lineup here. Pretty good stuff. And observers being produced. There we go. Popping out of that. Popping out of the robo. Observatory looks like it's got telescopes on it, which makes sense. Somebody had some inspired design there at Blizzard back in like 97 or 96 when they were designing that. I don't know. You think the art was first? I bet the art was one of the first things done for StarCraft. And then like movement, animation of units. Like how much each attack is, what armor does, what the spells are. That kind of stuff took a lot longer, I bet. Figuring out pathing was also a big problem. There's a pylon down here, just in case, I guess, a tank tries to set up over here. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Because a tank set up here with some vision will wipe out your probe line at this potential third base spot. Vultures running around, throwing down spider mines. That's what they do. Vulture speed is not done yet, so they look sluggish. Like they haven't had their Wheaties yet this morning. Happens sometimes to vultures. Nothing to be embarrassed about. Double comsat station coming up back home because we are worried about Dark Templar, even though we don't really have the tech for it. I mean, I lied. There totally is the tech for it. But with all the spider mines running around, it's kind of hard for DTs to get anything done at this stage of the game. You kind of have to go early with it. It's very rare to see a DT attack against a Terran player, I don't know, at like the 20-minute mark. But I suppose it happens sometimes. Dragoons catching some of these vultures out. Spider-Mine laid down, but they pay the ultimate price. Everybody but this guy, who has to go home and tell his commander that all of his friends died out there. He's going to have some PTSD about that for sure. You know, unless he dies out here, which is entirely possible. Woof. Armory coming in for upgrades. Hot stuff. Light got some Marines, got some Vultures, got some Siege Tanks. Any upgrades for them yet? No. Nobody has any attack or armor upgrades. I guess the armory's not done yet, so that would make sense. Free needs to out-expand his Terran opponent, as we always talk about in PvTs. And I feel like we've seen a good mix of Terran wins and Protoss wins in PvTs over the last month or so. So I think we kind of have this figured out, right? Everybody knows how this TVP matchup works. Everybody knows the strategy to win as a Terran is to get 1 million tanks out, and to win as a Protoss is to have more bases than the Terran. Try to keep the tank count low. In a nutshell. Be active with your Vultures, too. And more stuff we've talked about time and time and time again. You're probably tired of hearing about it. Yes. Yes, indeed. So the latest Marvel movie came out from the MCU. It's Ant-Man Quantumania something something. It's not gotten good reviews at the time of this casting, and I'm kind of worried about it. Maybe by the time you watch this, it'll be more well known if it's bad or not. I'm just a little bit worried that it is not great, you know? I don't know. I like Paul Rudd. I like Ant-Man. I've kind of liked all the Ant-Man movies. Okay, well, Vultures YOLO in here. Try to kill some probes, but like, again, this is what you got to do with your Vultures, but maybe don't lose them and pick up, I don't know, 4 probe kills. I'm not sure if that was what we were looking for there. That's not the value. Ooh, third base from Light. At the same time, that fourth base is getting started from Free along the left side. So Light doing a good job, I would say. 56 to 55 workers. He's got an even economy against his Protoss opponent, which is just every Protoss watching is like, that's bad. That is so bad right now. Free's got more stuff, more of an army, but you got to have way more of an army to deal with those siege tanks. Dragoons have no attack upgrades. They're working on +1, though. The mech has no upgrades, but they're also working on +1. Stasis coming in. Arbiters being produced. Stasis, super, super useful. Especially if the Terran player stacks their tanks up, which a smart Terran will not do, but sometimes in a pinch. And it's an emergency siege up because 1,000,000 Dragoons are rushing upon you. You kind of just got to siege up where you are. And there's like 4 tanks right here, and bam, stasis. 4 tanks removed from the battle instantaneously. Protoss spells are strong. Strong and powerful. What is up here? Oh, an observer. Man, that thing is so camouflaged in the brown. Or I'm just blind. Caster blindness affects many casters every year. Please donate. Just 5 cents a day. And you too can support a caster with caster blindness. Vultures drop inside the main, so it's not a DT drop, it's a vulture drop. And getting on behind this mineral line. Okay, this is way more successful, I gotta say. Oh, don't fight the Dragoons, dummy. Yeah, just kill probes. Probe down, probe down, probe down, probe down. This is looking great. Looking good for Light. 64 to 59 total workers in favor of the Terran player. Maybe expanding up here too. Free, possibly. He kind of needs to get on this. Sure, he's on 4 bases, but he's got 4 workers fewer than the Terran opponent. Light is a monster. He's just methodically working his tank count up. 1 tank has died in this game so far, I think. And that's not enough. That is not going to be enough to do anything. Second Stargate coming in. I don't know if this is a good indication we're going to see a fleet beacon or if we're just making a lot of arbiters, which is another possibility and the more likely one now, I would say. Carrier booster on the way. That is in preparation for potential carriers, but also just to catch arbiters that get close enough to those missile launchers on those Goliaths' backs. Pretty cool stuff, man. Have a missile launcher on your back. I wish I had a missile launcher on my back. Nobody would mess with me. Not that anybody does, I guess. I don't know. I'm 5'11" and like 3/4, and I have a beard, and I'm intimidating, I guess. I don't know. Whenever I go out in public, I just kind of keep my head down. I don't really try to mess with anyone. So nobody messes with me. I think that's a fair exchange I have with the world. I don't mess with anyone. They don't mess with me. Engineering bay getting sniped down by these Dragoons with all of the +1 attack. EMP getting researched from Light. Battle of the Spellcasters shall commence. Gotta rebuild that engineering bay for more turrets. Spider mines laid inside the main base too, because recalls on top of spider mines are pretty disastrous for the recaller traditionally. So we'll see. We'll see if that's attempted. Recall is getting researched after the arbiters have been out for a minute. So one of them should have enough energy for a recall. Although I'm trying to find the arbiter that's already out and I can't. There should be more than one. I know this guy. Fine, you're new. I get it. Was there an arbiter that got killed? Or is it up here? Nope. Ooh, bringing us... dropping is so underused in this matchup. Look at this siege tank. So cool. I mean, he's going to get Zealous dropped on his head and die, so that's why the unsiege and the retreat is happening, but still. Yeah, I swear there was an arbiter already in production. Oh, it's up here? It's up here! Haha! I found you! I did. What is... Just vultures running around. Recall! Oh, he does the recall! I looked away for 2 seconds, man. Recall's in. Spider Mines... Ugh! These Zealots are not having the greatest time in the world, but denying... I think they denied that armor upgrade. That's fine. Oh, he did! That was almost done, too. That sucks. That really sucks for Light. He lost an armor upgrade that was 99.9999% complete. And the Dragoons are just standing in, man. You'll never take us alive, they say, and then they are not taken alive. So it's a fair exchange, I think. Dude, these vultures down here. These probes are just kind of hanging out. Observer's like, what is going on here? What are these shenanigans? Get out of my neighborhood, you +2 vulture. Blah. Dead. So the recall, canceling that upgrade sucks. Killing the armory's terrible too. For lights, I don't know. Freeze maxed out. The problem is eventually light's going to be like, okay, I have enough tanks. Let's move down here and start sieging up bases. And it's really hard to dislodge a Terran that's got 15 siege tanks firing owning your bases. It just is. But he wants to expand too. Light is just trying to win the macro game, which is interesting to me because I don't know, he's maxed out. He's got a bajillion siege tanks. Using them for attack seems like what I would prefer that he do right now if I'm rooting for the Terran player. Energy upgrade for the Arbiters coming in, continuing to pump those out. Oh, he's supply blocked. Actually, he's supply max. Not a supply block, exactly. Okay, so the Dragoons are at +1 attack. The mech is sitting here at +2 attack, no armor. They would almost have an armor upgrade, or they would have an armor upgrade, except that recall timing was disgustingly good. Scan up. Let's see where that's going. Kind of out around the outskirts. See what's going on. See where these Arbiters are. See where these Dragoons are. Oh, wow. You're just going to clump up your Arbiters like that. No! You can't just clump up your Arbiters like that. Oh, that was amazing. So the Arbiters are out of energy. Good luck providing any stasis support at all when you're coming. Okay, that was some stasis support. But the rest of the Arbiters are out of energy, man. And this is a trade. This is Free being like, I'm not going to bust this. But what I'm going to do is kill a bunch of siege tanks. This is fantastic. Spider-Mine's getting laid down in the middle of the map there. And actually go to town on this 4th base of lights at the same time. Cool stuff. These units come out of stasis, but they're not going to chase these down exactly. These vultures are fighting. Look at them fighting. You going to throw down some Spider-Mines on these boys? They got an observer with them. The Arbiter's like, oh, we wish we had enough energy to be helpful, but we were sitting together having a coffee break, and then a science vessel came in and EMP'd us in the face. Another base, man. Free's doing a good job here. Free's doing a great job expanding. I'm super impressed. But lights up. 169 to 160 supply. His tank count kind of got reset, but he's producing 3 at a time, 4 Goliaths at a time, mostly Zealots right now from Free. I like it, man. I mean, if there's a lot of tanks and not that many Vultures, those are going to be amazing. The Zealots will be good. +3 vehicle attack is a good one to get. Storm's on the way here, too. Free's using a lot of different things, a lot of different tools to try to slow this mech of lights down. Is it going to be enough? Good friggin' question. Stasis on the science vessel. Nice. Poor guy's in jail. I like how offset the stasis, like, dodecahedrons can be. Just like it's an area. And if you're inside the area of the dodecahedron, you're stasised. Kind of weird that way. So there's 2 places left to expand on the map. Not a ton of places to go here on Talcross. It's a bit of an earlier map. Yeah, that's a ton of tanks back here, man. And Arbiter that's a dead Arbiter. Way too many Goliath hits. You're coming back in? Oh, didn't even get a stasis off. Uh-oh. So Free's struggling a little bit here. This is 8,000 siege tanks. Wiping out this pylon group, it might actually supply block Free. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, bring some vision over here. Kill these pylons. Excellent. +3 attack is done. A full... Wow. I mean, we're looking at the full 85 damage per shot. Trying to get in here and recall, maybe stasis in. The Arbiters come from the top. Stasis a bunch of the tanks in the back. But is there enough stasis versus not stasis to actually bust through if you're Free? And the answer is no, definitely not. Get a couple storms down, sure. Bruise up some of these Goliaths and siege tanks, but at the end of the day, this is just too much Terran. This might be an abandon your main base scenario because, look, everything that comes through this little narrow gap is getting shelled and getting hurt and injured before they even join the main event. This is a really nasty tank position for Light to be in on this map. I don't know that I've cast many TVPs on this map, but man, look at this. Yeah, these walls are a problem. These walls are a problem for any Protoss player who's playing against a Terran. Another scan, just scanning out to see what we're dealing with here, and says, okay, that's really not too bad. This base is gonna die. That's all it is. I mean, this is Free setting up his home away from home at the left side spawn because he knows how dire it is for him down here on the southern side of the map. It happens sometimes in TVPs. More often than Protoss players I think would like, but often enough that they know how to deal with it. So, bit of a mixed bag, yeah? So that Nexus dies. No hassle at all. This Nexus is also dead. No hassle at all. And, I mean, probably the whole main base of Free is going to die. And that's why all these gateways are here. You should start building some tech structures up here, too. Yeah, this Nexus is down, too. I mean, this is just killing Nexus's 101 right now from Light. Slow, steady. He's got this top right base. Well, about a 1 o'clock base. But guess what Free's doing? Free's coming in to wipe it out. So good awareness from him. Some Vultures are coming up to try to stop this, but it's Dragoons, man, so good luck with that. The Dragoons are at +1 attack. No further upgrades. It's a bit of a problem. Bit of a problem here for Free to be that down on upgrades. Yeah, I mean, basically, that's 3 Nexuses down pretty quickly. Why are you pulling back? Go kill that base! I guess you're worried about these tanks sieged up, and they're kind of covering this area. Man, Light, he gets there in time. He delays with the Vultures, and then he brings the tanks up to provide the muscle that he needs to actually stop the attack. Sick stuff, man. Finally getting that +1 armor that he was trying to get, 8-9 minutes ago. But this is just too much. +3 siege tanks, +3 Vultures, and Goliaths. It's tough. This base dying would be a massive, and that's it. It's an evacuation. So suddenly Free's been knocked down to a 2-base mining scenario. His main base is mined out, and I mean, we're just taking tank shots from across the wall, everyone. It's not great. I'm just going to say it that way. He's kind of trying to stack his dudes down here and maybe recall them out or shuttle them out because getting them out the front door is proving to be pretty disastrous for him. Siege tank. Okay, this is Free coming in. Recalls on top here. Storm there, too. Is there enough? I don't know if there's enough to hold here for Light. Good storms. Beautiful placements. The Nexus dies, but this tank count gets removed. That was big. Free needed that victory more than anything. Because he needs to kill this base. Don't lose an Arbiter to a missile turret, please. Oh my gosh, he's going to do it. No, get out of there. Get out of there. And this base of Light's is dead, but I think Light's done enough damage economically here. But I think he's okay. 158 to 138 supply. Oh my gosh, he just brought up more mech. Never mind. I keep thinking Free's going to wander over here and kill everything, but then Light just casually sends up 6 more siege tanks and a bunch of Vultures and says, have a nice day. Dude, that Archon. Yo. Vultures killing ya. Not a good feeling. Not a good one at all. Yeah, I'm really shocked that Light hasn't just come in here and wiped out all of these gateways. But I guess he figures there's not enough money to really support that many gateways anyway. I mean, these gates and these gates. There's no way. Free's on 2 bases mining. I mean, he's got 54 probes, 2 base mining right now. There's just not, it's not, he doesn't have enough income to fully support like the 15, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. So, yeah, 9. So it's like 20 gates. There's no way. He's producing 2 Dragoons at a time. Definitely not. Actually, 6 Dragoons at a time. Still good. Still not bad. Based on the situation we're in right now. But, I mean, this is... Yeah, man. Free's getting squeezed, getting strangulated very slowly by mech. And that's what mech does. Mech doesn't come kill you fast. Mech steps on your neck and just kind of slowly applies more and more pressure until you die. Bit of a graphic image, yes, but I'm sure Protoss players everywhere are like, yeah, that's about right. That's about how my PvTs go. Oh, this is amazing. He hasn't even tried to go in. He dropped some Vultures in here earlier, but he's just like, nah. We'll just leave this. Leave it as it is, I guess. All these tech structures are totally safe. Oh, Light's expanding down here on Free's 3rd base. That's just mean. That's just, and he's expanding up here maybe? Maybe, sure. I don't know, but going after the newest sources of income for your opponent is a great way to win. Good snipe on the High Templar. Took a storm for it, guys, but totally worth it, Vultures. Absolute boss move. 199 and 172 supply. Looks like free. He played a good game, but I don't know that there's really a way forward for him right now. He's down. I mean, yes, he has a decent number of probes, but he's over-probed. He's oversaturated on these bases. His income is not as good as it could be if he had another base here or here. Oh, yeah, liked it expand there. Okay, so one last hurrah maybe for free. Defensive Matrix is up on the lead siege tank. Enough storm is up here. Stasis all over. That is so much stasis, Batman. The problem is stasis doesn't remove your units from the game permanently, so they're going to come back. So you got to kill this. I mean, sure. Kill the command center as fast as you can, I suppose. That's the idea here. Science Vessel's getting wiped out. Free, feeling pretty good about it. He's jumping right on top. He's waiting for these guys coming out of stasis because he's inside the minimum attack range of some of these siege tanks, and it's going to be interesting. And here they are. Jumping in. Scan. He's got to scan to see what's going on. Defensive Matrix is up. Free is actually handling this exceptionally well. All of these tanks are going to die. There's no saving any of these boys. The reinforcing tanks are going to be fine. But, yo, that was a good move from Free. Protoss fans, got to hold your head up high about that one. Stasis all the way across the board. Controls the area. Comes back in. Waits for the stasis to finish. And then, bam, executes every one of those tanks that were in stasis as soon as they come out. That was amazing. That is not, I've not seen that very often. Not with that many siege tanks. Not with that much control. Free continuing to bust in. He still only has +2 attack. The upgrade advantage is amazing for Light here. And I feel like Free could have won this game with a better upgrade pattern, I gotta say. But yeah, I mean, it's just the slow contagion of blue. I guess Zealots wiped out this cheeky attempt of Light's to expand down this way to the third base of Free. Yes, that happened. But I think Light's going to be able to set up right about here. And these probes are like, we can't even we got high ground tanks. That's so cheap. Dude, maps that have high ground spots on your natural, how does those even exist in StarCraft? Early Lost Temple had it, and then they fixed it because it's incredibly powerful. But that's your GG. I mean, this is the last hurrah for Free. He's down 157 and 98 total supply. I guess he's up to 100 now. Nice job, guy. But no income from this base. He's only got this base for income. He's got 50 probes, but 1 mineral patch he's working with right now. Not great. Not at all. So he scans down here to see what he's dealing with. Defensive Matrix siege tank up. The siege tanks aren't even sieged up. They just have the upgrade advantage. They got some Vulture support here, too. 70 supply for Free, and GG. Free taps out. Light is your winner in 28 minutes and 24 seconds. A killer TVP. That is, as much of a serial killer, kind of slow Michael Myers style execution of a Protoss as I've seen in a while. That was just Light methodically expanding, methodically dealing with the recall, methodically setting up tanks, methodically wiping out a Nexus, wiping out a Nexus, wiping out a Nexus, wiping out a Nexus, right? Just going on a roll here. This one too. And just never really, I mean, this was kind of going for the jugular, sure. But he never went anywhere fast, you know? And I mean, it's kind of hard to do as mech, right? You're not going to be speeding around the map, but it was slow. It was painstaking, and it's how you should play mech. It was great. He's on 3 bases mining, 4 bases mining if you want to count that one, and you probably should against the 1 base mining of Free. And Free put up a good show. I think he needed better upgrades. I think more recalls would have been very cool from him. Recalls on top of, not the main, but just expansions, right? Just recall here. So the turrets are for, but I don't know. I think you could slip around outside, come in this way and recall and not lose the Arbiter, especially if the Arbiter has armor upgrades. But good stuff. I mean, that was really, really fun. So 239,000 points there from Light, 214,000 points from Free. Did outproduce the Protoss player 610 to 400. Kill death ratio is too close for comfort there based on that produce number. Structures raised 31 to 12 in favor of the Terran. Makes sense. And then outspending the Terran Free did, but only about 3,000 minerals, maybe 3,100 in 28 minutes. And it's just not going to be enough over the course of a 28-minute game. So well done. Just a fantastic display of TVP there from Light. Can't really ask for more than he did. It shows why he's one of the best Terran players in the world, maybe the best one right now. So good job by him, and that's going to be it for me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch. All / Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.